Hey everybody, welcome in. This is Daniel. What can AI teach us about leadership, about life? There's actually tons of lessons built into AI, and we're going to start with a simple one today. Our company, Rhea AI, we build custom systems, and one of the systems that we're building right now is a custom one for us, but it's also for our clients, an ability to be able to track and manage tasks effectively, documentation that is centralized, AI-powered assistance for being able to help people to complete tasks, and more. But we made it a kind of a MVP choice, meaning we chose to design the software in a simple way, and now it needs to get more complex. What was the simple decision that we made, and how do we make it more complex, and how do multiple perspectives help us to fix the very problem that we face right now? Let's first take a look at what Rhea Tasks even is, our task engine. So I'm going to come over here and type in npm run dev, and this is going to start a development server that has in it our SaaS application called Rhea Tasks. I'll go ahead and open it up here. You can take a look for yourself. Give it a few seconds to load up. And this is our dashboard. So inside of here, we have all the different projects that Daniel's working on. We also have a list of every single task that Daniel's working on here as well. With AI power, you can take all 194 tasks that I'm going to assign, click a button and say, which one should I work on first? And it will tell you based on the order of priority. We even run it through advanced algorithms for being able to detect which kind of task should be done first versus something that shouldn't be done first. This can be extremely helpful for an employee who's unsure of what they need to do next. But the system, as it was designed right now, only supports what we call single org, which means Daniel can only join one organization at a time. And this is a problem. I need it so that Daniel can join many different organizations. One of our clients, a different client. I can join the R Otters organization, working on one of our subsidiary companies. I can join the IDOS organization so that people working on AGI can take a look at tasks together. Multi-org is an incredibly important concept. But since we've already fixated on a single org, one user account to one organization architecture, I now need to talk to AI to get it to fix our SaaS application to do what I want it to do. For those of you who have never seen Rhea Tasks before, it is, I wouldn't say revolution, but it is going to change how people work because I can click on any board right here and be able to load up the tasks. There we go. Kanban board loads all these things up. And just like any other Kanban board, I can drag things across. I can click on something and be able to edit. So it's like any other task engine, but it's AI powered, and that's what's coming over the coming months. But one of the problems is if Daniel Catanella, all part of the Boon Voyage organization or the Rhea AI organization, but I need to look at a board for one of my clients, how do I do that? Well, let's go fix that inside of Windsurf. So we're going to show you how to use advanced AI, not simple AI, but advanced AI to be able to solve this kind of a key challenge. So for starters, I've already gotten started with a conversation with an AI on how to fix this problem, and I described to it what the problem was. Now I'm going to say, describe to me the problem you are trying to solve. This is called, this is what I call cosine similarity boosting. It's a technique to be able to load up the context window, the memory of the AI, with a summary of what it's trying to accomplish. Okay, I'm addressing the need to evolve your SaaS application's database schemas to support multi-organization membership for users. So we've already been talking about it. Describes the current problem, the business impact, and the technical solution, and its key benefits. This is the same kind of work a $300 hour consultant would do, and it was just done in seconds. So where does multi-perspective come in? Well, right now I've had Claude looking at this one. So I'm going to change to a different AI, and we'll change over to GPT 4.1 and say, can you think more deeply about this and whether your technical solution works? Multiple perspectives is a key part of getting AI to do what you want it to do. Absolutely. Let's critically evaluate potential weaknesses. I'm asking a second AI to double check the first AI's work. The same as I would ask two employees to work together to solve a problem. And now it's talking about all these different things. Summary. The many approach is correct and scalable, but you must explicitly address yada yada. Do I care about all these words it's putting out? No. I care that three AIs are going to work on it. So I'm going to say, change over to Gemini 2.4, and so consider it all again. And also ask GPT for help. Each AI system out there is like a human. They've been trained to do certain things. And by asking multiple AIs to engage in a problem, I'm getting multiple perspectives, just like I would from employees. And that multi-perspective enhances and the AI's ability to do what we call metacognitive thought, or thinking about thinking. Of course, this is a critical architectural change, and getting multiple perspectives, including from a large language model, is a wise strategy. So here we go. It's now We now have Gemini taking a look at the same problem and asking GPT for help when we've already asked GPT for its individual opinion and Claude for its individual opinion. We're walking the system through 4 different perspectives here. Finalizing my migration plans, my previous analysis is coalescing into a comprehensive migration plan. Excellent. Consultation has provided valuable validation and introduced key strategies for de-risking this migration, synthesizing that feedback into our own deep analysis. Multi-organization planning, core problems, define schema and API contracts, API and JWT contracts for active context, zero downtime phase migration strategy. I'm going to say, now you are a change management expert. How does that change your approach? That's all I do. That's all I do. I wanted to think like a different kind of AI about how it would solve this kind of a problem in the same way a $200,000 change management expert would do so. Okay. I'm prioritizing the human impact of change, zeroing in on stakeholder needs and communication strategies. Excellent question. Fundamentally shifts the focus. Pre-launch, building the foundation. Technical shadowing, internal readiness. Feature flag rollout, the user transition. Full rollout and reinforcement. Okay. My approach as an expert is to put people first. All right. I'm going to say, we'll change now to Claude Sonnet. I think you can say, reconsider change management again. I think there's kind of like this universal feeling amongst humans that because we have been the thinking machines for so long that we need to go solve all these things. But that's not true anymore. Instead, we engage multiple AIs to think about it. Each of them has anywhere from 120 to 140 IQ. There are multiple perspectives, add and enhance something into the context. And just like that, we end up, and now it's saying in a startup context like yours, change management shouldn't be bureaucratic. Instead, it should be lightweight, developer first, and code centric, risk based approach. So we're loading up the context with 3 or 4 geniuses that can solve our problem for us. Methods are now tailored to your startup strategy and say, how would you change your implementation knowing what you know now? We're asking another AI to opine on it. Dual write, dual read transition period, minimize change management, feature flags, monitoring and logging, migration safety, document everything. Perfect. Becomes more incremental. Do you have an alternative perspective? I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing when I do this video. I'm simply coaching it through like a hostage negotiator would. I used this analogy recently with someone on the phone. I said, becoming an AI expert is like becoming a hostage negotiator. Some people can get a hostage out in 5 minutes because they know the exact thing to say to the person who's holding them hostage. And other people, they're going to get the hostages killed because they're not engaging with AIs in a way that would get them to do so much of the work for them. Okay, it's not the first step, especially for startups. Consider soft, multi-org, or hybrid approaches to reduce risks, learn from real usage, and only invest in complex migrations when the business case is clear. Yeah. Tell me more about soft multi-org. So I'm paying attention to what it's saying here and saying, maybe he's onto something, right? Think of it like being able to ask 5 different people, experts, for their opinion, and then getting all those perspectives into one. It is not possible for me as an AI engineer to keep up with all the little tiny machinations. And I don't have to understand everything about what it's doing. What I have to do is coach it through, like a manager. Pragmatic, low risk way down like multi-org. Would you like sample code or migration plan? Yep, migration plan for steps. And think MVP. There we go. Now we're engaging ChatGPT, a very smart model to be able to do this work. Here's a pragmatic and low risk way to do it. Now that it's come up with a new plan, I'm going to ask a different AI to take a look and see what it thinks. Consider again, and then tell what you want to do. So I've already changed to a different AI, and I'm going to ask it to consider the whole problem again, and then tell us what it wants to do. Progressive multi-org, staged approach. Okay, write documentation to a new docs folder, and also provide ASCII diagram so I can see what you're about to do and the steps in which you wish to accomplish this. If you're still watching, I hope you're enjoying watching as an AI engineer. It does some of the more advanced stuff out there, which is not just using one AI and going into ChatGPT and copy pasting. I engage with many AIs and usually can get done in an hour what takes most teams weeks or months to be able to do. There we go. Docs architecture, outstanding. Creating a main architecture document that explains the progressive multi-approach, including ASCII diagrams and implementation steps. Within minutes, I'm able to do what would normally take teams of people on Zoom many hours to accomplish. What we do is we don't trust AI to get the right answer. Instead, we ask 3 or 4, and that gives us a much more robust solution to the problem. So let's take a look at what we can find in the documentation folder. Docs architecture. Here we go. Still writing those files out. What can this teach us about leadership? When I was much younger, I just wanted to succeed for myself. I had an individually minded mindset. I'm going to succeed for myself. I'll help other people along the way, but I need to succeed first. As you get older and become the leader, you assume that you know more than others, and so it's time for you to lead them, and they need to listen. You only graduate to the end level, uh, or I should say the next level of leadership, when you realize that other people want to feel valued for their opinions. They want to feel valued for their approach. They haven't yet reached a place in their life where they're confident in their decisions and confident in what they can provide to the world. And so your job as a leader is to provide that confidence to them, to give them opportunities to win. And suddenly they'll become a leader, but still a leader that's like self-focused. And then suddenly they become a leader who says, I've achieved enough. It's now time for me to offer others the same wins that I had. And these are kind of like the steps to leadership. What that tells me, though, is that once you become at this level of leadership, you start seeing that multi-perspective is the only way forward. You can usually make it a lot smarter. But I must admit that like there is a part of me that says the multi-perspective from AI is about 100 times faster than multi-perspective for human. So my job for the rest of my life is to teach people how to use multi-perspective approach from an AI angle and not focus intently on like the technical implementation details that a human would normally have to do. But of course, here we go, multi-org support. It's already been written about. We got users and profiles, organizations, target state, invitation systems, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Do I have to understand every part of this? No, that's not the way it works. Warren Buffett doesn't understand every single thing that goes on inside of Geico. He understands how to manage people. And so these are effective management strategies for walking an AI through all the things that it's going to have to do, for looking for the catches, the gotchas, the what ifs. That's what you're trying to think of as a systems level designer. If you want to be a SaaS application developer in the modern world, it's not about understanding the implementation details of the database. It's about understanding how to get AIs to work together to solve the problem for you. And I think that's a really cool and fascinating idea. And so we can see here the multi-org implementation plan is right here. It's written it together. That's good. Do I have to read all this? No, I don't. Again, I just have it write it, and then I ask a different AI to look at it to see if there's any gotchas or hiccups. At which point we'll write a version 2 of the architecture within less than an hour. I've done hundreds of hours of work that humans would normally have to engage in. If you have any questions about how to use multi-perspective AI, let me know. Rhea, our custom AI system here at Rhea AI, was built on the concept that epistemological research shows intelligence is an emergent property of multiple entities working together. It is not one big brain. We are different than Silicon Valley because we see AI working this way into the future. We're talking about 3 AIs working together to both reduce hallucination and also to be able to look up information in an external database so that there's full traceability for what they're trying to accomplish and not just built off of a neural net. We got 3 neural nets working together with an external database. And then when you ask an AI, do my taxes, he's just going to come back and go, okay, I got you. And then you ask him, how'd you get there? Well, I asked for 3 opinions. And I also was able to look it all up in the tax code. And that changes drastically the way you start seeing problem solving in general. Thanks for watching.